receiving a ring, their blood is replaced with a corrosive, rage-energized blood. This blood can eat through anything, penetrate other ring users' force fields, and even corrupt other rings. A Red Lantern also has the ability to spew this blood as a weapon, so basically a napalm. This napalm blood replaces their own blood and heart, so removing a red ring without using some very specific means will kill the host. They also have the ability to fly, and they have a protective aura that allows them to fly through space. Most recently, the human Red Lanterns have displayed the ability to make heart-like constructs. The most interesting thing about the Red Lanterns is that the moment they become a Red Lantern, they become enraged to the point of mindlessness, and they do nothing but destroy everything. It takes dipping them into the red blood of their home planet for them to become normal again. Now it's time to talk about the Orange Lantern. There's only one of these in existence. His name is Larfleeze. Due to the very nature of the light being greedy, it is typically only one user as we've seen in history. It can do all the normal things that the two previous ones I mentioned can do, such as flight, protective auras, and make hard light constructs, but it has one unique ability. It can also steal the identities of anyone who crosses paths with it. Once it takes the identity, then Larfleeze can send the person out of the ring as an orange light construct. He can even maintain an entire core's worth of individuals spawned from his ring, and basically control his own entire orange light army. He can then absorb the constructs of other cores and use those constructs against them. The most interesting note about this ring is that it is a parasitic ring though. It doesn't choose its user based on a strong affiliation with the emotion. It forces the user to become the embodiment of its emotion. When Larfleeze has been separated from his ring, we can see by his reaction that he honestly wants nothing more to do with that thing, but then it takes him back over. The Yellow Core is the core of fear. This core is run by Sinestro, a former Green Lantern who feels that things should be controlled in a militaristic nature, instead of the more peace-wielding method that the Green Lanterns attempt to do. His rings can do all the normal stuff, but their core ability is the ability to create hard-light constructs based upon their target's greatest fears. For the longest time, the Yellow Lanterns were the direct enemy of the Green Lanterns due to their power of creating great fear in an enemy, which would cause the Green Lanterns to then lose their willpower to continue fighting, which would then have them lose their rings. The Blue Lanterns draw on hope to fly, create barriers, and communicate amongst each other. Their rings can also create constructs, but only in the presence of a Green Lantern. When a Green Lantern is nearby, they will supercharge a Green Lantern's ring and gain the full power of their own rings. A Blue Lantern ring can also cure a Red Lantern of the napalm blood, allowing the ring to be removed, and they can absorb the light off of a Yellow Lantern, making them one of the few weaknesses of the Yellow Core. The Violet Light is the light of the Star Sapphires, the light of love. And they have the usual flight and aura and hard light constructs, but they also have the ability to imprison individuals until they can feel the power of love and the infectious nature of the violet light, and thus emerge as a Star Sapphire. They can also detect when love is in jeopardy and link the two troubled hearts together with a love tether. Their constructs do also have an interesting property though. They can't be absorbed by an Orange Lantern, and they also leave a disorienting dust when destroyed. They also have the ability to teleport to their greatest love or someone else's greatest love. The problem with the Violet Ring though is that since it's at the extreme end of the spectrum, it may actually take over its user just like the Red Lantern rings will. This will sometimes create an insane Star Sapphire whose sole purpose is to avenge hurt lovers or their own lover who has shunned them. The Indigo Light is the last of the normal lanterns. This is the light of compassion and is another parasitic ring. Originally created by Abin Sur as a way for the true evil criminals to atone for their actions, a member of the Indigo tribe is filled to the brim with compassion and no other emotion. Due to their lack of other emotions, they're able to channel the other emotions through their ring, gaining the power of almost every other ring. They also have the ability to teleport at will, and all normal things such as flight, a protective aura, and communication. Interestingly though, is if someone is in need of compassion but are unwilling to don the ring, it will brainwash them into being a member of the Indigo tribe. And if someone is willing to wield the ring due to their overwhelming compassion, such as Ray Palmer, they do not seem to be affected by the mind-altering properties of this ring. And this brings us to two fan favorites, the Black and the White Light. The Black Lanterns are an army of zombies who have been revived by black rings. Even if someone has died and come back to life, they are susceptible to the black ring. The ring will allow the wielder to regenerate all injuries, and the ring will become rooted to its wielder, making it impossible to remove by force. A black ring has no charge at first, but with every person that they kill and remove the heart of, they gain a bit of power for the entire core. They also have the basic abilities of flight and black light constructs. Black rings also actively seek out people who are strong with emotions and at the foot of death's door or are already dead. But if someone is void of emotion, they are invisible to the black ring. The white light is the light of life. It has the ability to revive the dead and use every other core's abilities, and I mean every core. Most of its powers and abilities are still unknown and being explored by the current only White Lantern, Kyle Rayner. But it does appear to be the most powerful of all the rings, as it can use everything and go beyond them. And that is all the cores of the Green Lantern lore and their exact powers and abilities. This Know Your Universe is actually a two-parter though, as we will next discuss where these lights and powers came from originally. Each light is controlled by a true entity, the embodiment of the emotion that they display, and there was originally a first Lantern who started all of this. So now let's move on to your recommended reading so you can get caught up on the Lanterns. Now, to truly understand the beginning of some of these Lanterns, you would need to read Green Lantern, The Rage of the Red Lanterns, Green Lantern, Agent Orange, and you will also need to read the Green Lantern Corps, Sins of the Star Sapphire. That will get you caught up on those three cores. To truly understand almost with the abilities of every other core, you would really need to read the Green Lantern Blackest Night run and the initial 6 issues of the Green Lantern New 52 run to understand the Indigo Lanterns. And that's it, so please join me next time for Know Your Universe DC Edition. I'm Infected Crow for Comicstorian, and I'll see you next time. And let me know in the comments down below anything that has confused you about the DC and Marvel universes so we can explain it for you.